Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name's Martin Myers, and just thank everybody for coming out. We've got Dylan Red, who's going to be the opening performer. He's 22, and the talent is astounding. And then I'm delighted to have Siphokazi Jonas, who is flying and has just gone on and doing extraordinary things. There's a great friend of mine, then Heinrich Frans, who put together this amazing band. So we're bringing poetry, we're bringing young talent together, we're bringing music together in a safe space for you to sit and enjoy and network and try and write business and do things. So I'd like all of you to give yourselves a round of applause in supporting South African culture and music, and we are eternally grateful for that. So thank you very, very much from the bottom of our hearts, and a special round of applause for William Masimola for being a conduit to make this happen. Thank you, William. So without further ado, I think we're in a wonderful place. We're in for a wonderful evening of music. You're not going to hear me talking. Let the artists do the talking. Let the music speak. Just enjoy the cerebral delight that you'll get and the nuance of the word. So without further ado, please, a warm round of applause. He's 22, he's hungry, he's going somewhere, and he's going fast. Dylan Red.
Good evening. All right, so I'm going to start this off with a little cover, and then I'll get into two more originals. So I hope you guys enjoy, and here goes this one.
I'm lost.
way. Baby, you're the perfect shape. Dreaming like my birthday. You want it this way, I want it that way. I want it. Tell me you don't want me to stop. Tell me it will break your heart. You wanna roll with me, you wanna hold with me, you wanna stay. Woman, get no, be don't worry with me. I just love to hear you say it. Makes a man feel good, baby. I'm lost without you. I can't help myself. How does it feel to know that I love you, baby? I'm lost without you. I can't help myself. How does it feel to know that I love you, baby? Woo. Oh, baby. Oh, honey. All right now, I'm lost without you. I can't help myself. How does it feel to know that I love you, baby? Oh, baby. Oh, honey. All right now, you got plans tonight. I'm a couple 100 miles from Japan tonight. I was thinking I could fly to your hotel tonight. 'Cause I can't get you out my mind. Can't get you off my mind. Can't get you off my mind. You got plans tonight. I was hoping I could get lost in your paradise. 'Cause the only thing I'm thinking about is you and I. 'Cause I can't get you off my mind. Can't get you off my mind. Can't get you off my mind. Oh, honey. All right now, I'm lost without you. Thank you. All right, so this next one is an original I finished 2-3 days ago. So yeah, let's see how this one goes. Her smiles are a frown and we're upside down. I try looking up, but the skies ablaze. Feels like our days as one have come to an end. They're up in flames. We were set alight with nothing but a touch. You had me counting my lucky stars for your love. And I watch the Milky Way fade to grey, and my heart's cried out, we're all burned up. We're all burned up. We're all burned up. Oh, no. The memories will never go away. And my heart feels like it wants to stay. I turn around, reach out my hand, but it's much too late for what we had. We were set alight with nothing but a touch. You had me counting my lucky stars for your love. But now I watch the Milky Way fade to grey. Now my heart's cried out and we'll all burn up. Dust. Sun has set, not to the moon now. Ash to ash, then dust to dust. Sun has set, not to the moon. Nothing but a touch. Got me counting my lucky stars for your love. Now watch Thank you. Okay, so last one. This one's a bit more simple. It's just me and the guitar. And yeah, hope you guys enjoy. You put me down, and though you thought you had me, babe, but I won't stay down. You should know that it's just not in me. You hate on me, you can say something, better make it quick before I get my chains, 'cause there's a fire in my veins, and I don't know what to say, but you're fanning all my flames, so I'm gonna burn right through you. I'm a fighter, no, I won't back down. I'm a fighter till I get my crown. I'm a fight, but the sweat and tears, they got nothing on me. No more fear, I don't know what that is. Do your worst, 'cause I'm ready for you. I stand tall, I'm a fighter. I'm a fighter. I found my spine. Yeah, I know that's not what you wanted me. I've seen through your lies, so now you become the enemy. Yeah, I know it's tough watching me get up, doing all the things you thought I couldn't do. There's a fire in my veins, and I don't know what to say, but you're fanning all my flames, and I'm gonna burn right through you. I'm a fighter, no, I won't back down. I'm a fighter till I get my crown. I'm a fight, blood, sweat, tears, they got nothing on me. No more fear, I don't know what that is. Do yours, 'cause I'm ready for you. I stand tall, I'm a fighter. I'm a fighter. I'm a fighter. No, I won't back down. I'm a fighter till I get my crown. I'm a fight, blood, sweat, tears, they got nothing on me. No more fear, I don't know what that is. Do your worst, 'cause I'm ready for you. I stand tall, I'm a fighter. Thank you very much, guys. Thank you so much, guys. Yeah, so that was one of my originals. That one is actually on my album, which I do have a couple of copies with me. If you'd like some, there's 12 tracks on there. That one being one of them. The other one, unfortunately, isn't on there. Like I said, I finished that about 3 days ago. But yeah, otherwise, thank you very much, guys. My name is Dylan Reid. You can find me on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and at the waterfront on weekends, provided it's not raining. But yeah, otherwise, thank you very much, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed. All right, so yeah, that's my turn. Up next, we'll have Siphokazi Jonas with some poetry. So yeah, guys, thank you very much. And yeah, give her a hand. And yeah, enjoy the rest of your evening.
I didn't manage to make it to Mitchell's plane to jump the vaccine queue, so. It's going to be that kind of set. Good evening, everyone. It is so great to see you. Even if I may not know most of you, I think this is my second live performance since February 2020. So I have really been level 4, level 3. But, thank God we're here, man. I want to start an Eid Mubarak to all my Muslim friends as well, your celebration. If any are here, actually, I didn't. But I want to read, the first poem I want to share is in honor of Palestine, which was written a few years ago, but it feels appropriate to share it again. Do flowers grow in the desert if they are buried in sand before budding? Red Sea gravesite without parting, gardens and grandparents weeping at all the blood seeping from what is left of the pavement, dying lily white wishes ruby red into what is now a field of poppies. The body of Palestine is a bouquet of flowers. War is at the door. War is the door. There is no door out of this war that is not blown off the hinges, that is not hanging from a fraying border, a border like rope, like string, sometimes strangles a bouquet of flowers. Their bodies bent in eternal salah are not only praying, they are blossoms harvested in worship, in action, in resistance, making dua in stone and sand and song. Their last breath perfumes the air. Their last breaths are a pilgrimage away from the pursuit of smoke and fire. But Haji in a war that does not end do not return, no matter who is waiting at home. What is buried in sand is not a dream of planting or of sowing. It is a scattering of petals plucked, refugees uprooted and trampled. How then does a wounded flower heal itself? Stitch its stem back to its root, back into spine or any other place in a scattered body. You who are planted elsewhere in this garden, blooming, knowing rain and only rumors of desert, the sand follows you everywhere. It is in your pockets, in your shoes, on your plates, on your heads. It is what takes up space in your bed, on your pillows. It is what you taste when you eat inside your dreams, wondering why you wake into thirst. The voices of buried petals are nadan, plucking you out of your sleep. They tire of planting in blood and bullet. They cry for spring. They cry for spring. They cry spring. I'm going to just speak about what's happening in the world. Just changing the tenor of the atmosphere. But I think it's important. I think it's my responsibility as a writer, as a poet. I fear that black wombs will begin to devour black seeds, to spare them the misery of early harvest in the hands of men and women who carry a gun like a scythe. They will choose to be barren or to squat over graves in the first trimester, over a land fertilized by the planting of their children. See how much darker the soil has become. Cain, your brother's blood calls out to heaven. It lies in the trail of smoking guns and altars built from badges. Genesis. We are back at the beginning. But skip a couple of pages and land in the Middle Ages. Again, bodies like scriptures are burning. For lives will always be at stake in the hands of those who substitute divine pickings for natural selection. They look at black limbs like firewood, incinerate peace as a firewood. I would say history is turning in its grave had it been dead. But look at the rain. It is falling in flakes. It must be snow. No, it is gray. It must be ash. Ashes to ashes, dust to dust. From dust we were made, to dust we return. This land is filled with living urns of baobab fathers, wounded oak mothers, and young saplings bent at the waist. Every day lived is a cremation of hope. No wonder their pillows have turned to flint. Their tears are ready to start a revolution. Ashes to ashes, dust to dust. From dust we were made, to dust we return. So when will we remember that we are God's finger paintings? Every shade of skin, a musical variation in the aria of creation. We are night sky, stars sprinkled into our pores, so that when we dance, it is a meteor shower. We tan underneath the moonlight, called a stain on history. But we are the writing on the wall. Breathing in ink, we have populated pages since papyrus. Then rocked this planet to sleep on a continental cradle, so even when they don't trust us with their gold, they still give us their children to raise, as long as a black breast gives white milk. But even so, even black is not worth the weight of pride. Not until we see a divine Abel taking nails like bullets, when it's not simply skin but blood, and when God casts his eye on earth, the only verse he will read is red. And who has lived then died in him. That is a strange sound. The applause. I'm so used to seeing the icon on Zoom. So thank you for bringing my humanity back. It really is not the same. And just the delay or trying to reach your audience. So I don't know if anyone's heard of hashtag We're Dying Here by any chance. Yay, okay. So some people have heard. If you haven't, you will. Right now, but also later in the future. It's a short film that we made under COVID conditions that was an adaptation of a stage production that was an adaptation of a poem. All right? We pivoted. So this is the poem that was the seed that bloomed into the forest that is hashtag We're Dying Here. Thanks for the hashtag, but there's no time to tweet between taxi rank, construction site, and street. Only enough time to clutch your bag to your body to yourself, and yourself to this thought: please don't talk to me. Please don't talk to me. Thanks for the hashtag, but there's no time to tweet in the boardroom or by the photocopying machine, where power pinches the purse strings and makes you a puppet. And everyone knows that the puppet master's hands like to slip below the neck, below the waist, below the hem. But the audience claps and claps and claps its way to a 13th check. Thanks for the hashtag. But there's no time to tweet even in vestry and confession booth, where scriptures are interpreted behind smoke screens between a collar and a robe, and the pulpit is now a bookshelf of bodies, because God was cast out a long time ago to make space. So thanks for the hashtag, but there's no time to tweet even in parliament and court, where they're in the business of cooking laws to serve justice to the vulnerable. But first, a few questions to establish your innocence. Did you say no? Do your clothes say no? Your life? Your values? Your virtues? How long have you lived as a no? Because what matters is not what you say, it's what he believes he heard. So thanks for the hashtag, but there's no network here. Data is expensive here. How do you explain Twitter here, or a hashtag for that matter, when my grandmother, my mother, and my cousin don't speak English here? There's no time to tweet here. Because the police ask what I did to deserve it here. The docket is for sale here. The family wants to solve this as a family here. They say they want to pay damages to make things right here. The lecturer will fail you here. The principal is king here. The prophet is father here. The breadwinner must not be challenged here. The bread must not be endangered here. The neighbors mind their own business here. They say, I'll ruin the family name here. They say they want to fix me here. They say, don't be clever here. They say, smile here. The trend is hashtag we're dying here. The title is Hope in the Time of Corona. I hope that's the outcome. Things you have never seen your mother do. Sitting at a sewing machine, making a kingdom of table and chair. Brown paper patterns and chalk spread before her like maps or battle plans. Dividing fabric along its natural borders to style clothes in the countries of her imagination. Things in which you have never heard your mother speak. The language of pencil sketches and scissors. The resonance of a polyglot soothing the stuttering tongues of cashmere and cotton, satin and silk, or all along some unseen dreamscape. Here are things you cannot count about your mother. The number of buttons she has restored. The splits she has sealed, the lengths she has hemmed, needle in one hand and thread in the other, and how many times she has licked the end of that thread into a point sharp enough to fit through an eye. Things you do know about your mother. She never mends without first unraveling. She listens to both sides of the wound, lets it breathe until it can speak. Until it tells her what kind of stitch is needed for healing. You also know that after all the unraveling and speaking and unraveling, she ties a knot so tight, it is a living will, an heirloom never to be undone. That knot holds together what is lost between two pieces of fabric, between woven worlds. It is how you know your mother is a storyteller. By how she seeks the best point from which to approach a story. Piercing a narrative without wounding it again, choosing the characters that are as stubborn as denim, the new ones she must make, the healing that comes with new thread, making its way through ancient hurt, and how she follows the path of piercing and seals you. There are things your mother has stitched in you with the same precision. Along the seam of tearing skin, she turns it inside out and stitches you from within. She grapples with the fraying, reconciling threads imperfectly, but always on the end of a story is a knot as tight as a prayer. I would have to tear myself up again to undo it. So here, now we are being turned inside out and pierced, tracing all of the torn places and finding how they might speak to each other again. Reminded that a stitch only follows unraveling, and we are unraveling. We are edges of a fraying planet. We cannot live for ourselves alone. We are forced to gather at needle point. We are forced to remember the days we sat at mother's feet, not paying attention as she taught us how to thread an eye, to mend a village through its children, to hold a community. But we are now here to remember healing ways, disguised as hemming stitches, to be selfless in mending what is torn. A belated Happy Mother's Day. Let me tie my knot and finish. Ufikile unogumbe. Ugalelekile kankqonkqoza udiliza umgubasi. There is a flood inside our house. The water climbs the walls when we weep. It does not let us breathe. It does not let us breathe. Before this pandemic, we would cast a funeral song into the dark like a flare, and the neighbors would come to strengthen our arms as we drove the water out the door. Before grief reached our ankles, before it swept us to our knees, before it flowed into the pots and into our beds. To mourn meant a community gathered like a bank between you and the river of death. Now death has dampened this ritual. We are all drowning. The neighbors lift their own arms to relieve the water in their lungs. This flood has flown into the inner rooms and quenched lives, young and old. It has taken what we are not ready to lose. It spits the stories of the living into the street like injured furniture. Like the pensioner who stood in line for a social grant. Her life made no space to protest at the beach. Still, she came home clothes soaked. Or the man who dies for a beer in his own backyard. The nurse who ties a tattered mask together with prayer and is still unprotected. Or the artist who contemplates whether to eat her own words and art starves. This flood ruins all of us. So what of the after? When the depth of this moment is absorbed into history, who will we be? We are a people that know how to rebuild from the remnant of disaster. And we will do it again and again. When we search for what is usable, may we find ourselves baptized into something new, with new ways of mourning, a people who have learned how to breathe underwater, reciting the names of those we have lost, and memories that do not sink. Thank you.
This year is Siphokazi Jonas's year. Make sure you never forget the name. Thank you for amazing. Absolutely spellbinding. And I know we will be continued with amazing music with Heinrich Frans and his trio. But thank you, everybody, for coming out and making this an incredibly special evening. Thank you very much.
I'm going to Siphokazi this microphone, okay? Slightly differently, though. And this is going to look weird, but bear with me. You can't get away from it. It needs to be done in these arbitrary times of COVID. Man, Siphokazi Jonas, everyone. Let's give it up one more time. A wordsmith of note is how I like to describe her. Thank you so much, man. Thank you for being here. And then Dylan Red, young Dylan Red, who opened up for us as well. Thank you, sir. My band's gonna hate me for this, but it's Siphokazi's fault. She makes me want to sing the blues, man. Can I sing some blues for you? Okay. Georgia, Georgia, the whole day through, just an old sweet song keeps a Georgia on my mind. Yeah. I said, Georgia, sweet loving Georgia, a song of you. Come keeps us sweet and clear as moonlight through the pines. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh no. Other arms, they reach out to me. Other eyes, they smile so tenderly. Still in peaceful dreams, dreams that I dream, that road, long and winding road, leads right back to you. Yes, it does, Georgia. Oh, sweet loving Georgia. No peace when I find, no, just an old sweet song keeps a Georgia on my mind. Oh, yeah. Still in peaceful dreams, dreams that I dream, that road, that long and winding road leads right back to you. Yes, it does. Said it, Georgia, sweet loving Georgia. No peace when I find, no. Just an old sweet song keeps a Georgia bottom of my mind. Yeah. Just an old sweet song keeps the Georgia bottom of my mind. Said Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Sometimes you got to sing the blues, right? Yeah. Absolutely. Let me introduce you to these incredible musicians whilst I catch my breath. All these tricks we use to catch our breath before we move on to the next song. I love it. Ladies and gentlemen, on my right, someone who's become a good friend and brother of mine over a number of years. I said this on a DVD recording we did many, many years ago. Not only is he one of the most incredible human beings that you'll meet, but he also happens to be a phenomenal, phenomenal musician. Please put your hands together for Benedict the Maar. And this young man with this cherry-looking lollipop in his hand over here, looking suave as always. Also, just one of the finest human beings, and also the funniest and a great musician at that. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for Valentino Europa on bass. I want to say thank you so much to all of you for coming. You're having a good time thus far? Good. This is good news. This is good news. So I completely missed that introduction. There's some musicians in the house who would have nailed me for that. Let's hear it for these wonderful musicians again. Benedict the Maar, guitar. Valentino Europa on bass. Just swinging the gates of the hinges as always, which is beautiful. Did I see my dad here? Is my dad here? Dad, you feel like playing a bit? You want to play some for the people? Yeah? Do you feel like it? Okay. All right. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, someone I've known all my life. That's how I have to introduce him, right? Please put your hands together for one of my favorite people in the world. See? He's not interested in the showbiz stuff because he should have stood up when I was done with my speech. But anyway, that's okay. He's my old man, as I like to call him. One of the finest musicians that I know. Does incredible things in the world of classical music. And from time to time, I have the joy of singing some tunes with him. So you all in the mood for a bit of Nat King Cole, maybe? Nat King Cole? Does that sound like Nat King Cole too? He's just showing off now, actually. When I fall in love, it will be forever, or I'll never fall in love. In a reckless world like this is, love has ended before it's begun, and too many moonlight kisses seems to cool in the warmth of the sun. When I give my heart, I will give so completely, nor I'll never give my heart, set for the moment I can feel that you feel that way too. 'Cause when I fall in love with you, for the moment I can feel that you feel that way too. 'Cause when I fall in love, 'cause when I fall in love, 'cause when I fall in love with John Frans, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. John Frans, John Frans. My name is Heinrich Frans. Thank you so much for coming out. Please keep on supporting the arts, anything art. That's music, that's poetry. Whatever it is, support the arts. This is fast becoming a space where you can come and do that. It's a beautiful space. There's great food, there's great wine, there's great everything. Thank you so much to everybody. My name's Heinrich Frans. Thank you so much. Good night.